Hey guys, Dr. Ashley Mack here, owner of Ashley Mack Performance and Rehab and Hudson River Fitness. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the importance and how to properly brace your spine and your core to take on any sort of specific forceful movement. Now this is a technique that I actually learned from Kelly Starrett, Dr. Kelly Starrett, who was actually a very big influence of mine, helping me transition from being, say, a clinician-based physical therapist to what we call like a health and wellness-based physical therapist, as what I am today. So the idea about bracing is being able to create tension along this pillar is what we call the core. And the core itself isn't just your abs and isn't just your back. Your body is going to be a cylinder with a top and bottom amount of tension and pressure. Now, whenever we go through our first onboarding sequence teaching our athletes and clients on how to lift, our first thing that we cover is how to brace and create this tension. So it's a 4-step sequence, and I find it to be really, really helpful. Step number 1 is going to be establishing your foot position. Now, we usually use 2-foot positions. We have our feet underneath our hips. This is where we're doing most of our deadlifts, most of our overhead presses. This is where you're actually having a lot of power and speed. The next position that we have is having the feet just slightly separated. We're looking at about shoulders width apart. In some cases, depending on your anatomy, we might actually even have a wider stance depending on what's most comfortable for you. From there, this is like our typical squat stance. This is where we're actually able to generate a lot of force and a lot of stability. So we have feet underneath our hips, feet underneath our shoulders. Step number 2 is actually squeezing your cheeks as tight as you can, your butt cheeks. So if you look at me from the side, this is me kind of just chilling out, and I squeeze my butt as tight as I can. My pelvis actually becomes a little bit more neutral, and I actually create a little tension at the base portion of my pelvis. I squeeze a little bit harder, that actually creates a little bit of tension in my abs, which leads on to step 3. Step 3 is going to be, once I squeeze my butt, I'm actually going to be focusing on pulling my ribs down, so that way I can flex my abs and I can keep everything tight. And a lot of people think that if they try to flex their abs, it's more of like a sucking in motion, and that sucking in motion actually causes your foundation to get really small. So when it comes to bracing, our goal is to create the biggest foundation as possible. So when you compress and you squeeze down, your abs get really, really tight. The 4th step is going to be taking your shoulder blades and pulling them back and down into your back pockets. Another way to kind of visualize it is as if you were to put your hands into your side pockets. All of a sudden, everything gets really, really tight. So just to repeat, it goes foot position, butt squeeze, abs pulled back up, abs pulled down, and then shoulders back and down. And then one thing to keep of note, when people pull their shoulder blades back and down, they have a tendency to kind of push their head forward to kind of emphasize this. So if that happens, what I suggest you do is once you pull your shoulder blades back and down, let your head kind of return back to its resting position. You're going to start to notice that you're going to feel a lot of tension here. This is going to be a really important position or technique for you guys to do whenever you exercise, because it allows you to have a lot more movement at the shoulders and at the hips. And being able to have that type of tension allows you to express the force along those joints. So then that way your knees, your back, your neck, your other joints will be nice and healthy. We also don't expect you to hold this brace position 24/7 because that would be ridiculous. You'd be walking around like a robot. But what we do recommend our athletes and our clients to do is to generate as much tension as it would be needed depending on the weight that we're lifting or the complexity of our exercise. So go ahead and think about that when you're about to take on a heavy squat, a heavy deadlift, or any sort of movements that's going to be challenging. See if there's a difference. You guys might actually get more tired a lot faster, but your joints will feel a lot better and you'll be able to feel a lot stronger as well. So go ahead and try that out. If you're still trying to figure out how to do that, what I recommend is that you reach out to a professional, whether it be a medical professional, a trainer, or reach out to someone like me. You can book a discovery call at the link below and go ahead and try that out. I'll catch you later.